I'm really grateful for our group and for the time that we took at the beginning of our session to talk about each of our day using water descriptives. And so someone talked about feeling like a swan floating on top of the water, and someone else talked about feeling like a boulder that was getting moved by the water. And so we already started to talk about connection and relationship to water before we even got into our main subject matter. And then I brought the question and opened the space of what naming does in creating channels of knowing and connection to water, to different kinds of bodies of water. And within our discussion, we talked about how naming is a way of endearing, and how we are motivated to be protective and to conserve water from a place of love, that it's much more sustainable to work on these issues if we feel a love connection to where it is that we're trying to conserve. And then getting into more of the particulars of naming, there are a lot of places around here that were named by settlers. And actually the names before the settlers came through had much more connection to the geographic features and the stories and the origins of connection to those places. And so someone talked about Robin Kimmer, who wrote Braiding Sweetgrass, and one of the components in that book is about how we so often in the way that we use the English language relate to place through noun instead of relating in a more familiar way or a more relational way. And so thinking about relation to water as water being a being and something that isn't a thing but a connection. And Dan really highlighted and talked about relation in an amazing quandary of like, what is Dan? Call me brother, call me uncle, call me nephew, call me a relational term instead of just my name. And so we went from the idea of naming as knowing to thinking about the relational aspects and really diving deep into how we relate to water, how the names of a name of water creates or disconnects us from that body of water. And it was a really excellent discussion. If anyone from our group would like to add anything, please do.